Fall is undeniably here, at least where I live, and maybe it's on its way where you live. The leaves are changing, as beautiful as it is. It's feeling a little too soon, but the leaves are changing. The weather dropped. The other morning, it was like 11 degrees, 53-ish Fahrenheit. It's been chilly in the morning. It's fall is on its way, is the point. And if you're a fall lover like me, you may be inclined to go shopping for the fall season. And you also may be seeing the fall content online. I made a video back in August about this exact thing, about people who were, at least at the time, in August and in some cases July, shopping to build anticipation and excitement for the upcoming fall season. Shopping to build anticipation and out of excitement has become a really normal thing to do online. Over the course of the last year and a half, we've seen people do this for things like spring break, going on a cruise with a family, holiday time, birthdays, seasons, and so many other cases too. Shopping as a way to experience excitement or emotion is an all too common practice that we ourselves can get wrapped up in if it's normalized online. Or maybe in the past you've been somebody who goes to TJ Maxx or Home Goods or Target to go take a look at the fall decor or the fall candles because you're just so excited. I'm not saying you can't buy things or even that you can't buy things for fun or pleasure or because you enjoy them. This video is ultimately an invitation to you to consider what you have first before doing those things and to ask where your desire to shop for blankets or decor or candles or whatever it is that tickles your fall fancy, what might be the impetus behind that or what might be driving that? Do you need a new candle or have you burned through some or the majority of your candle? Or are you excited for fall? Would your wardrobe benefit from a new sweater or are you just excited for fall? Are you interested in buying that home decor piece because you have the budget for it and can imagine a specific place for it in your home? Or are you just excited for fall? Are you interested in reading that book that your library also doesn't carry? Or are you just excited for fall? In today's video, I'm sharing free 99 things that you can do that may help get you into the fall spirit, may help you, in fact, build excitement, anticipation, and allow you to express those things, but using what you have first. And this is a list of things that maybe you can check off. And if you've checked off the list and you still feel the desire and you can imagine where the home decor piece might go, you feel like you have the room for it, the space for it, the budget for it, and you like it, then you can buy said thing with confidence. On the flip side, if you're somebody who is doing a low buy or no buy this fall season, I think this is also a great list too. The first category we're going to talk about is ambiance. Think about the experiential nature, maybe of fall, ways that you can build the vibe. Number one, I would suggest would be to bring out your fall decor. Wherever it is, maybe you have a box in your garage or a bin or a suitcase in your bedroom, pull it out, touch it, feel it, become reacquainted with it. Reconnect with it and see what you have. Sometimes we forget about what we have simply because it's out of sight, out of mind, and you're bringing it back in sight and back to mind. Pulling out our fall decor can feel like shopping, most especially if you haven't seen your decor in a year or maybe a few months. And that can bring a sense of excitement all on its own. Sometimes what we crave when we're shopping is the excitement, but also sometimes part of that is the novelty. And pulling out your stuff and kind of, oh, what's in the box can be a sense of novelty too. Maybe not entirely, but at the very least, I think it can help with the excitement aspect of things. There are lots of things that can help create cozy vibes that you may already have, like bed linens. Maybe you don't have a checkered print or something that's orange, but maybe something in a different texture if you already have. Even something as simple like maybe you have one pair of white sheets that you wear all the time, but then you have a slightly darker, maybe a beige color, perhaps not a rust or a green, but that could be enough of a change to make you feel like something has changed. Pull out any textiles you have, bed sheets, but also pillow covers, or bath towels, hand towels, any kinds of linens, throw blankets. A lot of people own a lot of throw blankets. And to get a cozy, vibey feeling going, you don't need a rust colored throw blanket or something with pumpkins on it. A throw blanket all on its own is cozy. And part of the vibey nature, or maybe the ambiance, is that cozy feeling was what we're craving. So we can be asking ourselves of our stuff and our decor, what's going to give me the cozy vibe? I think it's important to reiterate blankets are a cozy category all on their own, regardless of the color or regardless of the shape or the texture. They cozy, baby. Case in point, it's over here. This blanket, one side is brown, the other side, cheetah, leopard maybe? This is the blanket that has been in my office or at my desk no matter where I've lived, and it's typically been my desk blanket because I just get cold all the time. It's been folded up in my closet, and I brought it down the other morning because I was just feeling really cold. Obviously, it's practical, but there was something very comforting and cozy about just bringing the blanket out, and I went, ooh, you know? We don't need to, if you're a romanticizing kind of person, we don't need to romanticize a specific kind of blanket to still get the same vibe. The blankets we have on hand will do fine. If you're somebody who keeps your blanket in the corner in a basket, maybe instead of leaving them in the basket, put it on your sofa or your couch so it's in your line of sight. I read on my balcony in the evening time when it was honestly kind of cold. And it just was so vibey to read on my balcony with the blanket. Great. The same goes for your candles, your mugs, your plates, your cutlery, whatever it is that you use. And again, another note that a lot of times in these shop with me videos, people buy these fall scents and they buy pumpkin or apple or something like that. But candles are another category that are cozy all on their own because of the ambient lighting that they provide. So even if you don't have a candle, like maybe like you have an electronic candle, it can still provide that vibe. Tea lights also do that if you have them on hand. And using what you have, whatever it is that you have, can help create the vibe. The one I'm currently using, I just brought it because this is what I have. I have 4 candles total. All of them have been gifts. The one I'm currently burning is this one, cinnamon sugar. Started it last year. Here's how we're doing. Once this one is out, I have a orange mahogany kind of flavor. That's going to be next. I have 2. Both of them are rain. And then I'll burn those in the springtime. Because I have some options at hand, I'll burn those in the springtime. But if I had no options and all I had was my tea lights, I'd burn those. Or if all I had was the rain, I'd burn that one. If you don't have any candles and you have incense, also vibey. You can also break out your slippers or your fuzzy socks. Again, things that don't necessarily have to be fall colored or themed. They are cozy categories all on their own. I busted up my slippers too. I typically have been wearing slippers all the time because I've just been so cold. But here, given that I'm no longer in a basement, no longer cold all the time. So I have my slippers and busted them out, gave me that cozy vibe. I also have a fall mug. I just have one. Oh, sorry, behind me. I got it a few years ago. I bring it up every year. This is her. It's just a little bit of coffee left. I get just as excited, actually more excited, about pulling my own coffee mug down from its storage up in the cupboard because I use it every year. It's my mug, and I pulled it out this morning, and I felt that excitement bubbling up when I was reaching for it. There's no like seasonal drink or anything in here. just my regular coffee, but I still felt that excitement. And yeah, it's nice to look at these items in the store, and those can make me excited, or I can think that they're pretty, but I get very excited looking at this thing that I have a history of using. That makes me excited anyway. Last up, we can use nature as our decor. If you happen to live somewhere that has pine cones or leaves or acorns, you can press leaves. You can also preserve leaves. And you can also do this with wildflowers. Be careful about what you're picking with the flowers, but you can press and preserve those things. I've never preserved a leaf, but I've preserved other things. I'll show you. I have something hanging in the hallway. It's a preserved flower. You can do that by yourself, with friends, with kids. And you can, if you're going on a nature walk, you can pick up pine cones or acorns, put them in a favorite bowl of yours, and bam, decor. Next up is media. And media can be a really great way to create or enhance a vibe. Playlists and music specifically, you can curate your own playlist out there to have a specific vibe that you're going for. Even if, let's say, you don't live somewhere with a pumpkin patch, what music would you listen to if you were in a pumpkin patch? Or if you were visiting a pumpkin patch, as an example. There are tons of playlists out there. There's actually one that I got into recently. I have my computer right here so I can pull it up. It's called Cozy Cuddly Fall Music. If you have Hosier on your fall album, I'm probably going to love it. His 2014 album, Hosier with the orange background, it's one of my favorite albums of his. It just is so autumnal to me specifically. I know I'm not alone on that, but like you open up with cherry wine and I'm like, all right, you got me interested. You can play that in the background while you're cooking or cleaning or reading or puttering around. There are a ton of videos on YouTube of people who create ambient experiences. They'll have soft music with a background and they'll be curated vibes. One of my personal favorites is Autumn Cozy. I mentioned them before, but they're not the only one, where they'll have the music and they'll have the vibe, right? Like Cozy Cafe or Spooky Castle. And then they'll have the background too. So you could put on this video if you have a projector, a TV, a laptop, whatever, your phone even, and you can have that going while you're reading or while you're doing stuff around your house, and you have multiple senses at play because you can potentially see the visuals on the screen, but you also get to hear the ambient music as well. These are so impactful. Like, I'm not gonna lie. They really help to create a vibe for me specifically and really get me in the fall mood, even if it's not that warm outside. I find night to be just the best way to do it because sometimes during the day when it's so hot and the sun's out, I can mentally, I'm like, I know you're not fall, but if it's nighttime, can't really see that it's visually not fall. You can also do the log burning fireplace. I know that one is maybe a little bit more like December leaning, winter leaning potentially for some people, but I do find a fire particularly cozy. I don't own a fireplace, nor do I think I would want to, but I like those vibes like on a screen. Makes me feel a little cozy. All of those help to create a vibe, but there's other ways where maybe you can get into the fall spirit that are perhaps not as vibey, like in your surrounding or sensorially, you know? Maybe they're just more spiritually. Movies and TV shows, that's it, maybe. I love fall movie or show. In my community tab, I asked you what your favorite fall shows were. I got a lot of Gilmore Girls. I got Over the Garden Wall. I said you got mail. Some of you agreed. And When Harry Met Sally, Twilight, Vampire Diaries, Pretty Little Liars. For me, anything kind of going back to school. Friends kind of seems fallish to me. I think because like the season begins like August, maybe like late summer, and then kind of goes into the fall fairly quickly. Charmed as well, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, whatever kind of media speaks fall to you, even if it's not necessarily obviously fall. There's some things that might say fall to me that don't to others. A lot of people like Ghibli and find that it's just like a comforting style, books as well. For me, a small town romance, oh my God, well, a small town romance, back to school or like school adjacent kind of thing. I'm personally going to be giving Fourth Wing a reread because I remember nothing from Onyx Storm. And it's a war college, which gives me school vibes. Like that book has nothing to do with autumn. Like there's, it's just back to school vibes. Murder mysteries, spooky castles. Maybe there's locations that give you the vibes yourself. Your library is full of great stuff. My library also does seasonal picks, which they'll feature physically in the library, but also in the online library. Activities is up next. Following your hobbies is a great place to start because you already love your hobby. So, what are some ways you can qualify your hobby? If you're doing something artistic, maybe using fall colors or painting fall sceneries, using your fall stickers, doing a fall journal spread, or maybe like if you have autumnal yarn, something that just feels autumn to you, like maybe it's the weight, if it's not the color. Changing your computer or your phone background if you're pretty frequently on those devices, whether for work or for your hobby. In the fall time, I have historically shifted some of my physical activity from what it normally is to doing more walks in nature, more nature hikes, even around my own neighborhood. Sometimes we can feel like our neighborhoods are boring, or maybe you've seen it all, but have you really? Because sometimes we don't notice all of the gems or even like hidden trail networks, even that are in our own neighborhoods. Every year, I have found something, at least one trail or one new place to visit that I hadn't known before. Coloring is a free 99 thing too if you have supplies. I have markers, those are my main supply. I'm going to put some free coloring page resources in the description. There are tons of coloring pages you can print for free if you have a printer. I think that's a really vibey thing to do. So you don't have to go out and buy a full-on coloring book if you're looking for a little bit of novelty or something that gives fall for you. You print out a page, and for me it's typically like I'll do the page. I'll have my evening with my vibey mug and my in my YouTube video playing on my computer, color for an hour and get my fix. Cooking and baking are excellent ways to get the fall vibes as well as the aromas. Yes, you can buy your fall coffee creamer or your fall shaped pasta, but you can also make things if you're so inclined, and they don't have to be complicated recipes. You can make comfort recipes, whatever comfort means to you, or you could use seasonal ingredients if they're available to you. Squash and apples are big favorites this time of year, and they're also readily available. One of my favorite recipes that uses both is something that my partner and I just call the fall meal. It's squash, apples, onion, and Brussels sprouts. A little bit of rosemary, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, a little bit of cinnamon, and then your protein of choice. It's so good, and it's like fall in a meal, hence the fall meal. Soups are excellent. Tomato soup is relatively easy to make. Butternut squash soup is pretty easy to make as well. Apple cinnamon is a pretty classic combination that hits for me. You could do that even in something like an oatmeal. A pumpkin pie, which I love. Sometimes when I'm looking to shop, what I'll do instead is go on Pinterest and look for recipes. And if I spend 2 hours looking for recipes, I haven't really done any harm because I've just found great things that I want to make. I did that recently and found that apple cider is actually really easy to make, and it's on my list this year. I'm also itching to make some polenta, which is, I wouldn't qualify that as a fall meal, but it's kind of cozy for me specifically, which is why I'm like, yes, I want to make it. Sweet potato and chickpea curry is another recipe that I found that is getting me excited for fall. One of the last categories to discuss would be fashion and beauty. Pulling out your fall clothes is another great thing to do, and similar to what I was saying with the fall decor, you could do it at the same time or a different time to break it up a little bit. Even if your weather isn't quite ready for your fall clothes, you can still take them out, touch them, feel them, see if they need caring for, because just interacting with your fall clothes can help build that anticipation, especially if you have some favorite things in there that you love to wear. Taking care of them is something that can help get you in the spirit and be close to them, but also trying on outfits or making new outfit combinations, having a little bit of a closet playtime. Again, even if your weather isn't quite ready for those clothes, you can still have a playtime in them. Within the beauty and fashion world, we could emulate fall with colors or textures or both. And in categories as well, we could do this with lipstick or nail polish, eyeshadow, shoes, even, or socks. I hold on to just a few nail polishes for that fall vibe, and you don't need 12 of these things or to get that vibe. Whatever is maybe the most resonant with you. I have a dark burgundy color. I have this like brown and blue kind of sparkly nail polish that I really resonate with fall. I have like a bricky color red too that I really like. I was wearing some fall leaning lipstick in a recent video. I also have one of my favorite fall shirts out. I pulled this out in a skirt over the weekend. I took a photo of it. Here it is. I wasn't quite ready for it then, but just, as I was saying, being around it and touching it and feeling it just got me very excited. The last thing to suggest would be a fall bingo or maybe a fall bucket list. If you're a creative person, this can become like a journal spread or an artistic challenge. If you're not, it can just be a list. I used to, or I have done previous iterations of the fall bingo. I used to have a physical bingo card, which I finally tossed when I moved. But if you are interested in this, I still have all of the prompts. They're all free on Buy Me a Coffee. I get notifications when people download them, and people download the bingo board and the romanticizing fall prompts like I would say on a weekly basis. The concept of the bingo board or the bucket list are tweaking fall for you specifically where you live. What are things that you would want to do and are capable of doing with your body, with your home, your environment? You may not have pumpkins and falling leaves where you live. So what do you have? What do you like to do in the fall? I did just talk about food. And food, yes, is something you have to pay for, but it's not something I would factor in to the costs like buying a fall candle because one does have to eat. And so maybe if you've already done a grocery shop right now, you don't go out and buy ingredients tomorrow, but maybe next time you go do your grocery shop, you can try out a fall recipe. So, those are just a few examples of how I or you might get excited or anticipate fall, but I'd love to hear from you. What are some things that you do specifically that you love to do and that work for you? If you have specific movies that you watch or shows that you watch or YouTube channels that you watch, I'd love to hear those too. And I think the community would as well. So thank you so much for watching and being here today. I would love to hear all of your suggestions, and I hope to see you again around here soon for a new video. Bye.